ultimately, in a lot of ways, the worst part of being bought and sold in the domestic slave trade was the separation from your family. You know, there are certainly cases where people are bought and sold as family units, or sometimes mothers and children. But by and large, people are being extracted from their families and simply moved from one place to another against their will. And the odds of them seeing their families again were very, very small. So that kind of almost systematic destruction of enslaved families and communities that was a constant threat in the lives of enslaved people, in a lot of ways, that's the worst thing about it. So I think imagining the trauma and separation that happened in the domestic slave trade is it's almost unimaginable for us now. I think in some ways it's impossible for us to actually imagine what that was like. You know, William Wells Brown, who was enslaved and actually was forced to work for a slave trader for a year before becoming an anti-slavery activist and an author and a poet and all these other things. In one of his works, he said, you know, there's no way to describe slavery. There's no way to actually capture in writing or in language what it was like. But we do know what its impact was. We know that from slave narratives, we have scenes described of mothers begging, pleading, breaking down in tears, screaming that their children not be taken from them. We know that there were people who didn't make it, that people simply died of psychological trauma. They died of broken hearts, basically. We know that enslaved families never stopped looking for each other. We know that after slavery ended, you know, formerly enslaved people would put ads in the newspapers talking about people who had been stolen from them decades earlier, and they're still looking. They never gave up trying to find them again. And I mean, the only thing I can say about trying to imagine what that trauma is like is just trying to imagine, you know, one day somebody shows up at your house and takes your child away and you'll never see them again. That's it. You have no recourse in law. There's nothing you can do about it. You have no idea where they're being taken. They're just gone, and you're never going to see them again. If you can imagine what that's like, then you can get maybe a taste of what it was like to have this happen to you in the domestic slave trade. And I can't even imagine it. It's too much. One of the things that always amazed me about the research that I did for this book about the domestic slave trade is the fact that people survived, because I'm not sure that's something I'd be capable of doing.